My dear friends, listen carefully. Your future is not waiting for you. Your future is calling you. Every distraction you choose today is a promise you break with tomorrow. Every moment you waste is a moment your future self is silently begging you to protect. God did not create you to drift through life. He created you to rise, to strive, to become. The question is not whether your future is coming. The question is, will it find you ready? Today, I want to remind you of a powerful truth. Your future needs you focused, not perfect, not fearless, not lucky. Focused, God has placed within every human being a direction, a purpose, a responsibility. But purpose does not shout, it whispers. And only a focused mind can hear it. Look around. Most people are busy, but very few are moving forward. Most people are active, but not aligned. When your focus is scattered, your energy is scattered. And when your energy is scattered, your destiny becomes delayed. God has given you time as a trust. Every sunrise is permission to try again. Every challenge is training for your strength. Every delay is preparation for something greater. But preparation only works for those who stay committed. Your future is not built in comfort. It is built in discipline, patience, and faith in God's wisdom. So today, we are not talking about motivation that fades tomorrow. We are talking about focus that transforms a lifetime. Focus is not just a skill. It is a sacred act, a form of worship to the life God has entrusted to you. Every day, God gives us 24 hours, and every hour is a gift. How we spend those hours determines whether our lives drift like leaves in the wind or move with the precision of a river cutting through rock. Imagine sitting at your desk, staring at your phone, scrolling endlessly through news feeds or social media posts, while your dreams silently whisper, waiting for your attention. That is where focus becomes a spiritual act. To focus is to honor your potential, to recognize the sacred trust God has placed in you, and to act upon it. When you sit down with intention, when you pour your energy into one task fully, you are not just working, you are worshipping the possibilities God has placed in your hands. Consider the example of a student preparing for an important exam. The world around them is filled with distractions, friends calling, videos to watch, games to play. But the student chooses to close the door, to silence notifications, to give undivided attention to the work at hand. Each page studied, each formula memorized, each problem solved is an act of devotion to their future. Focus transforms ordinary study into a sacred ritual. The energy put into preparation becomes the bridge between dreams and reality. Just as a seed cannot grow without sunlight and water, your dreams cannot flourish without your focus. Every focused moment feeds your future self. God does not need you to do everything at once, but He needs you to do what you do today, with complete attention, sincerity, and purpose. In everyday life, focus can appear in countless forms. When you take the time to listen to someone with your full attention, when you offer help without distraction, when you commit to finishing a project despite obstacles, you are practicing focus. And in doing so, you honor God's design within you. There is a power in giving your mind, heart, and hands entirely to a single purpose. Consider a chef preparing a meal, every ingredient measured, every spice added with care, every flame adjusted with precision. What seems like ordinary cooking is transformed into an art form through focus. The meal is delicious not just because of the ingredients, but because of the undivided attention of the chef. Similarly, your life becomes extraordinary when you dedicate your focus to meaningful actions. Focus is also a form of resistance against chaos. Life will always try to pull your attention in multiple directions. Notifications, endless obligations, trivial worries, they all demand your energy. But the person who has mastered focus does not get lost in the noise. Instead, they choose clarity over chaos, intention over distraction, Imagine walking through a crowded street where everyone is rushing, bumping into each other, lost in their own worlds. The person who moves with focus is like a calm river, steady, determined, and unstoppable. This is not arrogance. It is alignment with God's will. By focusing, you demonstrate that your life is not a reaction to random events, but a conscious response to purpose and calling. Every great achievement in history started with this principle. Artists who created masterpieces, inventors who changed the world, leaders who transformed societies, they all shared one secret: focus. They gave themselves entirely to the work in front of them, ignoring distractions, delaying gratification, and staying committed to the task at hand. Think of Thomas Edison, who tested thousands of materials before discovering the perfect filament for the light bulb. Each trial required focus, patience, and faith that effort, when aligned with purpose, will bear fruit. That same principle applies to our daily lives. Whether it is writing a book, starting a business, building relationships, or improving your health, focus is the bridge between intention and impact. Focus also strengthens your connection with God's timing. When you act with purpose, you are not rushing life, you are aligning your actions with the divine rhythm. Each task completed with attention, each moment devoted to growth, each decision made consciously, these are acts of faith. You trust that God will use your focused efforts to build the path ahead. Just as a farmer tends to crops patiently, knowing that harvest comes in its season, you cultivate your future through disciplined focus. Today, every distraction resisted, every habit formed, every moment invested is a declaration that you respect the gift of time God has given you. In practical terms, focus transforms small actions into monumental change. Making your bed in the morning with attention, completing one task without checking your phone, spending 30 minutes reading or learning with undivided attention. These may seem minor, but they are the building blocks of greatness. Each focused moment strengthens your mind, sharpens your discipline, and builds momentum. Life rewards those who do not chase every fleeting impulse, but who commit to one path and pursue it with integrity and care. When you focus, you elevate the ordinary to extraordinary. You take what is simple and make it sacred. Remember, focus is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is the ability to give today what only you can give: your attention, your energy, your heart. It is about honoring God's gifts by fully engaging with them. The moment you stop dividing yourself, the moment you decide to act with intention, miracles start to unfold. Your work becomes more effective, your relationships become deeper, and your life becomes a reflection of purpose realized. So today I challenge you to focus. Turn off distractions, silence the noise, and give your best to the moment in front of you. Each small act of focus is a tribute to your potential. Each focused decision is a seed for a future you have always dreamed of. Focus is not just a tool for success. It is an act of reverence, a celebration of your abilities, and a devotion to the life God designed you to live. Treat every hour with respect. Invest your mind fully, and watch how God multiplies your efforts beyond imagination. Focus is not just doing. Focus is worship through action. And through that focus, your future will rise. Distraction is quiet, polite, and extremely dangerous. It does not arrive like a storm that shakes your world. It arrives like a whisper that slowly steals your direction. It convinces you that a few minutes do not matter, that postponing effort is harmless, that comfort today is more important than growth tomorrow. And before a person realizes it, days become weeks, weeks become months, and potential becomes regret. That is why guarding your attention is one of the most powerful responsibilities God has placed in your hands. Think about an ordinary morning. You wake up with intention. You tell yourself today will be productive, meaningful, different. But before your feet fully touch the ground, your hand reaches for your phone. One message becomes 10. One video becomes many. Time moves quietly, without resistance, without warning. Nothing dramatic happens, yet something precious is lost. Focus did not collapse suddenly. It faded gently. This is how distraction works. It does not destroy loudly, it erodes silently. And the tragedy is not that time passes. The tragedy is that purpose is delayed. God has given every person attention as a form of power. Wherever attention flows, life grows. If attention is scattered, energy is scattered. If energy is scattered, progress weakens. Imagine sunlight spread across a room. It illuminates gently but changes nothing. Now imagine sunlight concentrated through a lens. It becomes strong enough to ignite fire. Your attention works the same way. When scattered across trivial concerns, it warms nothing. When focused on meaningful action, it transforms everything. Distraction steals this power by dividing the mind, weakening intention, and delaying growth. Look at daily life. A worker sits to complete an important task, yet keeps checking notifications. Each interruption seems small, but the mind must restart again and again. Energy drains. Frustration grows. The task takes longer, and satisfaction fades. Compare this to someone who protects their focus. They silence distractions, commit fully and complete the work with clarity. The difference is not talent. The difference is guarded attention. One person allows the world to pull their mind, the other directs their mind with purpose. This simple choice separates motion from progress. Distraction also disguises itself as comfort. It offers easy pleasure instead of meaningful effort. It tells you rest is deserved even before work begins. It persuades you to avoid difficulty, to delay discipline, to choose what feels good instead of what builds strength. But comfort without effort weakens the spirit. Just as muscles grow through resistance, character grows through focused action. When you resist distraction, you train your will. When you choose effort over ease, you strengthen the inner voice that guides you toward purpose. This is not punishment, it is preparation. God does not test your focus to burden you. He refines it to elevate you. Consider a simple example from everyday life. A person decides to improve their health. The plan is clear. Walk daily, eat mindfully, sleep on time. Yet distraction appears. One extra episode, one unnecessary snack, one postponed walk. Nothing seems serious in the moment, but repetition turns small choices into powerful patterns. Over time, health declines not because of one decision, but because of many distracted moments. Now imagine the opposite. The same person protects their intention. They walk even when tired, eat with awareness, rest with discipline. Results appear slowly but surely. The body strengthens, confidence grows. This transformation is not magic, it is the reward of guarded focus. Distraction also distances a person from awareness of God's gifts. When the mind is constantly occupied by noise, it cannot recognize purpose. Silence becomes uncomfortable, reflection becomes rare, gratitude becomes shallow. But when you remove distraction, clarity emerges. You begin to notice opportunities, lessons, and direction. You start to recognize that every moment carries meaning. Focus allows you to see what distraction hides. It allows you to respond to life consciously rather than react automatically. Protecting attention requires courage. It means saying no to what is easy so you can say yes to what is meaningful. It means choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. It means accepting that not every invitation deserves acceptance, not every impulse deserves action. When you guard your attention, you are not limiting your life, you are protecting its direction. You become the guardian of your own growth. A focused person moves differently through the world. Their steps are intentional. Their time has value. Their energy is invested, not wasted. They understand that destiny is not shaped only by grand decisio, but by repeated small choices. Each moment you choose purpose over distraction, you strengthen alignment with the path God has placed before you. Each time you return your attention to what matters, you reclaim power that distraction tried to steal. Remember this deeply. The greatest opportunities are often lost not because people are incapable, but because they are unfocused. Potential does not disappear suddenly. It dissolves gradually through divided attention. But the opposite is also true. Greatness does not arrive suddenly. It grows steadily through protected focus. Your attention is a trust. Guard it with intention. Invest it with wisdom. Direct it toward what builds your life, not what delays it. When you wake each day, treat your attention like a precious resource placed in your care by God. Spend it wisely. Protect it fiercely. Let your choices reflect purpose, not impulse. Because in the end, distraction does not just steal time, it steals possibility. And the moment you learn to protect your focus, you begin to reclaim the future that has always been waiting for you. Discipline is the language of trust. Trust that effort has meaning even when results are invisible. Trust that consistency matters even when progress feels slow. Trust that God's timing is wiser than human impatience. In daily life, discipline is not dramatic. It does not announce itself with noise. It appears quietly in repeated choices. Waking up when comfort says sleep more. Finishing work when the mind seeks escape. Continuing effort when motivation fades. This quiet persistence is not just self-control. It is faith expressed through action. Think of a person planting a seed. After placing it into the soil, nothing visible happens for days. The ground looks unchanged. There is no proof of growth. Yet the person continues to water it, continues to trust he process. Discipline works the same way. You study without immediate reward. You train your body without instant transformation. You build a skill without quick recognition. The results are hidden at first, but hidden does not mean absent. Beneath the surface, change is forming. When you remain disciplined, you are declaring that you trust what God is preparing beyond what you can currently see. Look at daily routines. A person decides to wake early each morning. The first days are difficult. The body resists. The mind negotiates for comfort. But the disciplined individual rises anyway. They prepare for the day with intention, perhaps reading, planning, reflecting. Over time, something subtle happens. Clarity increases, energy stabilizes, purpose strengthens. The outer world may not immediately applaud this effort, but inner transformation is already underway. Discipline is not about forcing life. It is about aligning life with meaningful direction. It is a quiet agreement with God's timing. I will do my part faithfully, and I trust that results will come in the right season. In everyday work, discipline turns ordinary tasks into powerful investments. Consider someone learning a new skill, writing, speaking, designing, or building a business. The early attempts are imperfect. Progress feels slow. Doubt whispers that effort is wasted. But discipline answers with action, not argument. Each day they practice. Each day they refine. Each day they improve slightly. Months later, people notice sudden success. But the disciplined person knows the truth. Success was never sudden. It was built through unseen dedication. Discipline is faith that consistent effort, guided by purpose, will never be meaningless. There is also discipline in emotional strength. Life presents disappointment, delay, and uncertainty. It is easy to react with frustration or give up when outcomes do not match expectations. But discipline teaches patience. It teaches the heart to remain steady even when circumstances fluctuate. When you continue working despite setbacks, when you maintain integrity despite pressure, when you hold on to hope despite delay, you demonstrate trust that God's plan is larger than temporary struggle. Discipline protects your direction when emotions try to redirect you. Observe the structure of nature. The sun rises each day without fail. Seasons change in order. Rivers flow continuously toward their destination. There is rhythm, consistency, and reliability in creation. Discipline reflects this same order in human life. When you establish routines, honor commitments, and act consistently, you mirror this divine pattern. Your life gains stability. Your actions gain meaning. Your efforts accumulate power. Without discipline, intention remains wishful thinking. With discipline, intention becomes reality and progress. In relationships, discipline also creates depth. Listening patiently, keeping promises, offering kindness even when tired. These acts require intention and control. They may seem small, but they build trust and connection over time. Discipline allows love to become action, not just feeling. It teaches responsibility in moments when convenience would choose otherwise. When you consistently choose what is right rather than what is easy, you build a character that reflects strength and reliability. Discipline is not harshness toward yourself. It is respect for your potential. It is the understanding that your life carries purpose, and purpose deserves structure. When you maintain daily habits that support growth, you send a message to yourself and to the world. Your future matters. Each disciplined action is a step taken in faith, even when the destination is not yet visible. You are not forcing outcomes, you are preparing yourself to receive them. Think about the kind of motivational impact you aim for in your speeches. Danish. The steady, grounded inspiration that echoes the calm wisdom often associated with Gaur Gopal Das. The message resonates not because of dramatic promises, but because of practical truth. Transformation belongs to those who persist. Discipline is the bridge between intention and destiny. It connects today's effort with tomorrow's reality. Every time you follow through on a commitment, even when no one is watching, you strengthen trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in the process. Trust in God's wisdom. You prove that your actions are not controlled by mood, but guided by purpose. Over time, discipline becomes freedom. It frees you from regret, from chaos, from wasted potential. It gives structure to your days and direction to your life. Remember this deeply. Impatience seeks quick results, but discipline seeks lasting growth. Quick results fade, lasting growth remains. When you remain consistent, you are not waiting passively. You are participating actively in the unfolding of your future. Each effort, each repetition, each moment of perseverance is a declaration of faith that nothing sincere is ever lost. So continue, even when progress feels slow. Continue, even when recognition is absent. Continue, even when the path seems long. Discipline is not merely effort repeated, it is trust lived daily. And when effort meets divine timing, transformation arrives not as a surprise but as a natural outcome of unwavering commitment. Struggles are not punishments. They are the quiet, unseen training grounds where strength, wisdom, and character are forged. Life is not designed to be a straight path of ease and comfort. Every challenge, every obstacle, every moment of discomfort is carefully placed to prepare you for what is next. When you face difficulties, it is easy to feel singled out, to believe that hardship is a sign of failure or divine displeasure. But the truth is exactly the opposite. God is shaping you. Every struggle is a teacher. Every obstacle is a guide. Every setback is a signal that something greater is being prepared for you. Think about the person learning to run. On the first day, their legs ache, their lungs burn, and their body screams to stop. Pain seems like punishment, discouragement seems inevitable, and quitting feels natural. Yet, if they continue, the discomfort transforms into endurance. The burning lungs become a measure of capacity. The aching legs grow strong. What once seemed unbearable now becomes ordinary. Struggle is not meant to crush you. It is meant to condition you. Life works in the same way. Every difficult conversation, every rejection, every financial hardship, every delay is strengthening muscles you cannot yet see. These invisible muscles, resilience, patience, discipline, courage, will carry you forward when the world tests you even harder. In daily life, struggles appear in countless subtle ways. A student fails an exam, a professional misses a promotion, a relationship faces misunderstanding. At the moment, it feels unfair, frustrating, even tragic. But behind every struggle lies preparation for a future opportunity. The exam failure teaches humility and focus. The missed promotion teaches patience and strategy. The relationship challenge teaches empathy and communication. These experiences are the building blocks of a stronger, wiser, more capable self. God does not waste effort. What feels like a stumble is actually a stepping stone. Consider a simple example of learning a skill, such as cooking or playing an instrument. At first, mistakes are frequent and progress seems slow. Recipes are ruined, notes are missed, and frustration threatens to take over. But if the learner persists, each mistake teaches something valuable. Measurement errors show precision, burnt notes show timing, failed attempts reveal preparation. After months or years of small painful failures, mastery begins to emerge. Struggle, in its own patient way, has prepared the learner for success. Life is no different. The struggles you face now are refining you, training you, shaping the version of yourself that is capable of handling greater responsibility, greater opportunity, and greater impact. Struggle also tests your mindset and your faith. It is easy to feel discouraged when life does not deliver immediate reward. It is easy to blame others, the world, or circumstances. But those who understand the true nature of struggle see it as a call to grow, not to give up. When challenges arise, you can either resist them with resentment or embrace them with purpose. Embracing struggle means recognizing that growth is rarely comfortable and preparation is rarely easy. The pain you experience today is the foundation of the strength you will rely upon tomorrow. Struggles also reveal your hidden potential. When everything is smooth and easy, you cannot fully know what you are capable of. It is only when life pushes back, when difficulties demand courage, creativity, and persistence, that your true strength emerges. Think of a tree in a storm. The wind bends its branches, but the roots grow deeper. The tree does not collapse. It becomes stronger. You are the same. The storms you face deepen your character, anchor your purpose, and give you resilience that no comfort could ever create. In relationships, struggles often prepare you to love better. Conflicts, misunderstandings, and moments of tension are not signs of failure. They are opportunities to cultivate patience, empathy, and forgiveness. By enduring difficulties with grace and learning from challenges, you develop emotional strength and wisdom. These lessons become invaluable when life presents more complex and demanding situations. Each struggle in connection with others is a training ground for compassion and understanding, shaping you into a person who can handle relationships with maturity and care. Financial and career struggles function in a similar way. When resources are limited, when goals are delayed, when progress is hard to see, you are forced to learn resourcefulness, planning, and perseverance. You learn to value effort over entitlement, to develop skills that will serve you long term, and to cultivate a mindset that seeks solutions rather than dwelling on problems. What feels like deprivation is often preparation. What feels like delay is often divine timing aligning circumstances to ready you for a larger opportunity. Struggle also teaches gratitude. When you endure difficulty and then experience relief, progress, or success, the lessons you learn in hardship make victory sweeter, more meaningful, and more appreciated. You begin to see that every moment of challenge was not punishment, but preparation. A deliberate act to refine your understanding, your heart, and your capabilities. Struggle transforms ordinary experiences into profound wisdom, ordinary effort into lasting achievement. The ultimate truth is that no struggle is wasted. Even when the pain seems pointless, even when results are delayed, even when hope feels distant, every challenge is laying the groundwork for your future. Your current struggles are your preparation for the opportunities, responsibilities, and successes that await. God uses adversity to train you, to test your resilience, and to strengthen your faith. If you embrace struggle as preparation rather than punishment, you will no longer fear hardship, you will no longer resent delays, and you will no longer doubt your path. Instead, you will walk forward with confidence, knowing that every challenge is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. So, the next time you face difficulty, remind yourself, this is not punishment, this is preparation. Every obstacle is a lesson, every setback is a training ground, and every struggle is a gift. Through endurance, reflection, and effort, you are being readied for the life God has designed for you. Embrace it, learn from it, and move forward with courage, because the very struggles that seem hardest today are the very moments that will equip you for the greatness awaiting you tomorrow. Responsibility is not a burden, it is a source of immense power. The moment you stop blaming circumstances, stop waiting for others to act, and take charge of your life, you awaken a force within yourself that no one can take away. Responsibility is the bridge between potential and reality, between dreams and achievements. When you embrace it fully, it transforms ordinary people into extraordinary individuals, ordinary actions into purposeful accomplishments, and ordinary days into stepping stones toward greatness. Think about a student who owns their education. They do not complain about teachers, schedules, or distractions. They take responsibility for their learning. They arrive on time, complete assignments, revise consistently, and seek help when needed. Each action is a declaration. I control my future, and I will not let excuses dictate it. Over time, this student develops not only knowledge, but confidence, discipline, and resilience. Responsibility is the soil in which inner power grows. The more consistently you act with accountability, the stronger your foundation becomes and the more unstoppable your potential. In daily life, responsibility often appears in small, seemingly insignificant choices. Paying attention to commitments, keeping promises to friends or family, maintaining personal hygiene, meeting deadlines, managing finances. These simple acts create a rhythm of accountability that shapes character. Each choice you honor builds trust in yourself, reinforcing the belief that you are capable, reliable, and ready for bigger challenges. Over time, these habits accumulate, forming an inner power that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Responsibility is also about owning your emotions. Life is full of moments when frustration, anger, or fear arises. It is easy to blame others or circumstances for how you feel. But those who take responsibility for their emotional responses discover a profound freedom. They learn that their power lies not in controlling the world, but in controlling themselves. Imagine two drivers stuck in traffic. One yells, curses, and becomes consumed by anger. The other accepts the situation, listens to music, reflects, or plans the day ahead. The second driver is exercising responsibility and in doing so, maintains peace and clarity. Inner power grows from this ability to choose your response, to own your reactions, and to act consciously instead of reacting unconsciously. Responsibility also strengthens your ability to lead. Leaders are not those who are simply given authority, They are those who take accountability for their actions, for their decisions, and for the people around them. Consider a manager at work who accepts responsibility for the team's success and failures. Instead of pointing fingers when projects fail, they analyze mistakes, guide their team, and implement solutions. This act of ownership earns respect, trust, and influence. Responsibility does not only empower the individual, it radiates outward, creating a culture of reliability, integrity, and excellence. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to claim responsibility and grow your inner power. Financial struggles, career setbacks, or personal difficulties are tests not of your luck, but of your willingness to take charge of what you can control. Imagine someone facing a financial crisis. They could beg for help, blame circumstances, or succumb to despair. But by taking responsibility, budgeting carefully, seeking opportunities, learning new skills, they regain control. Through this conscious ownership, they develop resilience, resourcefulness, and self-confidence. Responsibility turns difficulty into training and adversity into empowerment. Responsibility also teaches humility. True power is never about domination or control over others. It is about control over oneself and alignment with purpose. When you acknowledge your mistakes and take corrective action, you build integrity. You demonstrate that power is not reckless. It is thoughtful, disciplined, and principled. Every time you step forward to accept responsibility, you prove to yourself that you are capable of managing life's complexities. The inner power that arises is quiet, steady, and enduring. Unlike superficial strength that depends on circumstances or recognition, daily life offers countless examples of responsibility, creating inner power. A parent who cares for their child, a professional who owns their workload, a friend who supports others consistently, or a student who studies diligently. Each action taken with accountability strengthens the individual's character. Power does not always manifest in grand gestures. It often grows in small, consistent acts of ownership. These acts accumulate, creating a person who is dependable, confident, and capable of facing life's toughest challenges. Responsibility also shapes your relationship with time. When you understand that your actions determine outcomes, you begin to value each hour, each moment, each opportunity. Procrastination loses its appeal. Excuses lose their power. You become intentional with your choices, deliberate in your actions, and disciplined in your habits. The inner power cultivated through responsibility is the ability to navigate life with clarity, purpose, and direction instead of drifting aimlessly with circumstances. Finally, responsibility aligns you with God's design for your life. God entrusts every person with unique abilities, opportunities, and challenges. Accepting responsibility is your way of honoring that trust. It is a recognition that your life is not someone else's task to manage. It is your gift to steward. Each act of accountability, each conscious choice, each effort made to rise above excuses strengthens your inner power and positions you to fulfill your purpose fully. In essence, responsibility is the ignition of inner strength. It transforms passivity into action, excuses into achievement, and potential into results. By embracing responsibility, you take control of your life, cultivate resilience, and awaken a power within yourself that cannot be shaken by circumstance. Each choice you make to act with ownership amplifies your ability to face challenges, seize opportunities, and shape the future God has designed for you. Responsibility is not just a duty, it is the pathway to an empowered, purposeful, and unstoppable life. Greatness is rarely born from one grand moment. It is forged in countless small, deliberate actions repeated day after day. Life often tempts us to believe that only extraordinary achievements matter, that only massive leaps will define our destiny. But the truth is, it is the small daily efforts, the choices you make consistently, that create the architecture of your future. Every action, no matter how seemingly insignificant, contributes to the mosaic of your life. Each morning you wake with purpose. Each task you complete with attention. Each habit you cultivate intentionally. These are the bricks of your destiny. Think about a musician learning an instrument. No one becomes a master overnight. The early days are filled with mistakes, awkward notes, and sore fingers. But the person who practices a little each day, who dedicates even 15 minutes consistently, gradually notices improvement. Weeks turn into months, months into years, and suddenly what seemed impossible becomes natural. The small effort invested daily compounds into skill, confidence, and artistry. Life operates on the same principle. Consistent action, even when it seems minor, builds momentum that cannot be replicated by sporadic bursts of effort. In everyday life, small daily efforts manifest in countless ways. Consider your health. Choosing to walk 10 extra minutes, drinking one more glass of water, preparing a wholesome meal, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. These small decisions might seem trivial in isolation, but over time they create vitality, strength, and endurance. Your body transforms gradually, silently, without fanfare, through actions repeated with consistency. The same principle applies to mental and emotional growth. Reading a few pages daily, reflecting quietly each morning, expressing gratitude, or practicing mindfulness may appear minor, but these small efforts strengthen the mind, build resilience, and enhance emotional clarity. Small daily efforts also shape your relationships. Listening attentively, sending a thoughtful message, helping someone without being asked, or offering encouragement consistently may not seem significant day to day. Yet, over weeks and months, these small acts cultivate trust, deepen bonds, and create connections that endure. Relationships, like all things of value, are grown slowly, nurtured with care, attention, and consistency. The person who invests in small, meaningful actions every day builds a legacy of love, respect, and loyalty that can impact generations. In professional life, small daily efforts differentiate those who succeed from those who remain stagnant. Completing tasks thoroughly, learning something new every day, responding promptly, and consistently improving even minor skills may appear insignificant compared to ambitious goals. But these repeated actions accumulate into reputation, competence, and influence. Success is often the result of countless small efforts compounded over time, not one single breakthrough. Those who underestimate the power of small daily actions often wonder why their goals remain distant, while those who embrace them quietly, persistently, and deliberately move steadily toward achievement. Consider the principle of compound effect. Just as a single drop of water can eventually carve stone, consistent small efforts accumulate into massive transformation. One page written daily becomes a book. One step taken daily becomes a marathon completed. One act of kindness repeated daily becomes a life remembered. God has designed life to respond to persistence. Each small effort is noticed, each small choice is meaningful, and over time these efforts compound into the extraordinary. Small daily efforts also teach discipline and patience. Instant gratification is tempting, and in a world that celebrates overnight success, it is easy to dismiss consistent, incremental work. Yet patience is the companion of growth. A person who invests daily effort learns to value progress over perfection, consistency over chaos, and process over immediate reward. They discover that the journey itself is shaping them, not just the final outcome. Every repeated effort, every daily action is a lesson in persistence, resilience, and faith in God's timing. Even setbacks and failures become meaningful when approached with daily effort. A person who commits to steady improvement will view mistakes as feedback, not defeat. They understand that small efforts, continued over time, will outweigh temporary failure. Each day becomes an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Life rewards the patient and persistent, and small efforts are the currency through which that reward is earned. In spiritual growth, the same principle applies. Small acts of prayer, reflection, gratitude, or service, when performed consistently, build faith, clarity, and inner strength. These daily efforts create alignment with God's purpose, deepen understanding, and prepare the individual for larger responsibilities and opportunities. One moment of focus, one act of kindness, one intentional choice each day accumulates into spiritual power that can influence life, relationships, and community profoundly. Remember, the future is not built in a single day or in moments of grandeur. It is built quietly, steadily, through small actions repeated with faith, focus, and consistency. The person who wakes each morning determined to act intentionally, who chooses small efforts that matter, who does not allow distraction or impatience to dictate their behavior. This is the person who shapes their destiny. These small efforts, compounded over weeks, months, and years, create a life of purpose, achievement, and fulfillment that could never be achieved through sporadic or inconsistent effort. So today, focus on the small actions you can take. Write a little, read a little, walk a little, help a little, invest a little. Do not underestimate the power of tiny, consistent choices. Each is a seed planted in your future. Each is a building block in the foundation of your dreams. God rewards persistence, patience, and intention. Small daily efforts are the secret force that transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Remember this: what you do every day, no matter how small it seems, shapes the life you will live tomorrow.